Every morning you wake up, you're given a choosing to rise with purpose, or to merely exist. You weren't born to blend in. You were born to stand out, to walk into any room and make the walls remember your name. But that doesn't happen by accident. Confidence isn't something you're given. It's something you build. Personality isn't just what you're born with. It's what you shape every single day. So if you ever felt like you're not enough, if you've ever questioned your worth, let me tell you something. You have everything it takes to become the person you admire. You just need the right tools and the courage to use them. My name is Evy Poumpouras and this is my official channel. Here, I share motivational content to inspire and empower people. I encourage you to watch the videos till the end. When you wake up in the morning, you are at your most powerful. That moment between sleep and action is sacred. It's where your mindset is born, where your energy is shaped, and where your intentions are set. How you start your day becomes the lens through which you see the world. It either sharpens your focus or dulls your edge. That's why owning your morning is non-negotiable. If you want to lead your day, you need to lead yourself the moment your eyes open. You are either reacting to life, or commanding it. The difference lies in the first few minutes of your morning. The alarm goes off, and here's your first testing. Do you hit snooze and delay your own potential? Or do you rise immediately, proving to yourself that you are in control? Every time you delay getting up, you reinforce a message that your comfort is more important than your growth. But when you sit up, put your feet on the floor, and take that first breath with purpose, you are declaring to the world, and more importantly, to yourself, that you are here to own the day, not let it own you. Your phone can wait. The world's demands, the messages, the news, the notifications, they will all still be there. But the first 30 minutes are yours. Don't hand them over. These moments should belong to your thoughts, your goals, your vision. Take a moment to breathe deeply. Express gratitude for being alive. Visualize the kind of person you are becoming. These small steps are not soft. They are not weak. They are acts of discipline. They build mental armor. Movement is essential. Your body has been still for hours. Get the blood flowing. Stretch, walk, run. Do push-ups. It doesn't matter what you choose, only that you move. This tells your body and your brain that you are stepping into strength, not slumping into routine. When you move, your physiology shifts, confidence increases, doubt diminishes. You start sending yourself a very clear message: I am capable, I am awake, I am ready. After movement, feed your mind. You don't need an hour. You need 10 focus minutes. You read something that uplifts you. Listen to a podcast that pushes your thinking, or journal to clear your thoughts. Don't wait until you're burned out in the afternoon to try and regain control of your emotions. By investing in your mindset early, you're putting yourself 10 steps ahead of the chaos that the day might bring. You're not hoping to stay balanced. You're preparing to stay unshakable. Avoid falling into the trap of scrolling aimlessly. That's the easiest way to start comparing your behind the scenes to someone else's highlight reel. The first inputs of your day matter more than you think. If you feed yourself negativity or distraction, you program your brain to chase it all day long. But when you begin with intention and clarity, you create a filter that automatically discards the noise and centers your focus on what truly matters. Dress like you respect yourself. Even if no one is watching, the way you carry yourself physically affects how you carry yourself emotionally. Looking sharp isn't about vanity, it's about self-respect. When you walk past a mirror and see someone who looks composed, alert, and ready, your brain follows that cue. You don't dress for the job you have. You dress for the life you're building. Start your day dressing for that future, and it'll feel closer every time you look in the mirror. Speak to yourself in a tone that builds you up. Self-talk is not just an internal dialogue. It's your training ground. Tell yourself what you will do today, not what you might try. Remind yourself of your values, your strength, your ability to rise. Confidence is rooted in repetition, and the most repeated voice you hear is your own. If you start your morning with powerful self-talk, you armor your mind for the battles ahead. Take control of your time. Don't rush. Rushing is a sign that you're reacting. Wake up early enough to own your pace. When you move with intention, whether that's eating slowly, walking calmly, or transitioning between tasks with presence, you establish authority over your environment. You're telling yourself, I'm not running from the day. I'm walking straight into it. Mastering your morning is not about perfection. Some days will be harder than others. But each time you choose to show up, even when you don't feel like it, you are casting a vote for the person you want to become. The day hasn't even started for most people, and you've already won your first battle. That's not motivation. That's power. And it's a power you build, one morning at a time. There is a quiet strength that comes from those who don't rush to speak. In a world addicted to noise, silence has become a form of power. The instinct to immediately share your thoughts, to respond without pause, to dominate a conversation. It's often mistaken for confidence. But real confidence doesn't scream. It doesn't rush to be heard. It listens, it watches, it absorbs. When you learn to speak less and observe more, you begin to tap into the undercurrents of every interaction. You start seeing what others miss. Every conversation is more than just words. It's tone, it's body language, it's timing. When you quiet your mind and truly observe, you begin to notice patterns. Who's posturing? Who's insecure? Who's in control without ever raising their voice? Observation becomes your secret weapon. The more you watch, the more you understand people. Not just what they say, but what they mean. And the more you understand people, the more influence you can quietly hold. Holding back from speaking doesn't mean silencing yourself. It means choosing your words with precision. When you observe more, you learn when to enter the conversation, and when to hold back. You no longer feel the need to prove your intelligence or your presence. Instead, you let your awareness speak first. You allow yourself the power of timing. A well-placed sentence after a moment of silence can carry more weight than a paragraph delivered in haste. Listening isn't passive. It's an active skill. It requires patience, attention, and presence. When someone speaks, don't just hear their words. Watch their hands. Notice their eyes. Feel the rhythm in their voice. People reveal more in what they try to hide than in what they say out loud. If you're talking too much, you're missing the gold. The real story is always in the subtext, in the pauses, in the slips, in the slight changes in tone. Mastering that skill gives you leverage in any room you walk into. There's a certain humility required to stay quiet when others are trying to impress. That humility is rooted in security. Security in your identity, your purpose, your value. You don't need to compete for airtime, because you already know your worth. And because you're not focused on crafting your next sentence while someone else is speaking. You're tuned into everything they're not saying. You see the insecurities behind the bravado. You see the hesitation behind the confidence. That's a level of insight that can't be faked. Observation trains your mind to slow down. It teaches you patience. And patience is a mark of someone who operates from strength, not desperation. When you stop reacting instantly and start pausing before you respond, you gain control over your words. You eliminate unnecessary noise. You begin to speak with clarity. And when you do speak, people listen. Because they've learned that when you speak, it matters. There's also a tactical advantage in letting others speak first. People will often reveal more than they intend if you just give them space. Silence makes most people uncomfortable. They rush to fill it. And in that rush, they expose their intentions, their priorities, and their fears. You don't have to interrogate anyone. You simply let them talk. And as they talk, you gather everything you need. Power often belongs to the one who speaks last, not loudest. In leadership, in negotiation, in relationships, observation gives you an edge. The one who listens more learns faster. They're not trying to be right all the time. They're trying to understand. And understanding creates influence. Influence isn't about shouting orders or dominating with opinions. It's about knowing when to speak in a way that resonates. And that kind of communication only comes from awareness. Self-control is the foundation of speaking less. You learn to resist the temptation to interrupt, to insert your story, to chase validation through conversation. You learn to sit with silence, to observe your own reactions, and to choose stillness over impulsiveness. That control doesn't make you cold. It makes you precise. It trains your mind to filter what's worth saying and what's better left unsaid. And over time, it elevates the quality of every interaction you have. When you carry yourself with calm observation, people start to notice. They may not always know why, but they feel your presence. You become someone who others feel compelled to explain themselves to impress, to seek approval from. And you haven't even said a word. That's not passive behavior. It's strategic. It's strength and stillness. It's the confidence of someone who knows exactly who they are, and doesn't need noise to prove it. Promises are the foundation of trust, and trust starts with the relationship you have with yourself. Every promise you make to others means little if you can't keep the promises you make to yourself. When you fail to follow through on your own commitments, no one else can truly believe in your reliability. The way you treat yourself sets the standard for how the world treats you. If you want to build unshakable confidence and integrity, start by honoring your own word above all else. It's easy to underestimate the power of small promises. Saying you'll get out of bed early, commit to a workout, or finish a task might seem trivial compared to bigger life goals. But those small promises are the building blocks of your character. When you consistently break small promises to yourself, you train your mind to accept failure and inconsistency as the norm. On the other hand, when you keep those small commitments, you create a momentum of trust that powers every aspect of your life. Keeping your promises to yourself means understanding that you are your own most important ally. Your word is the bridge between who you are now and who you want to become. When you tell yourself you will do something, you are setting a marker on that path. Every time you honor that marker, you reinforce your self-respect. But every time you ignore it, you chip away at your confidence. The most dangerous enemy to growth is the voice inside that says, "I'll do it later," or "It's okay to skip this once." Accountability to yourself requires a level of discipline that many avoid because it's uncomfortable. It's easier to rationalize skipping that workout, postponing that difficult conversation, or avoiding that task. But true strength lies in doing what you said you would do, especially when it's hard. The commitment you make to yourself must be stronger than the excuses your mind will invent. If you want to stand tall in any situation, your inner foundation needs to be solid and unwavering. When you keep your promises to yourself, you create clarity in your intentions. Your mind becomes aligned with your actions. This alignment reduces the mental friction caused by doubt and guilt. You don't waste energy questioning your own motives or beating yourself up over failures to act. Instead, your focus sharpens because you know your actions reflect your true intentions. Clarity and confidence are inseparable, and they start with the promises you keep in your quiet moments. Self-promise is a form of respect that extends beyond simple tasks. It's about honoring your own boundaries, values, and goals. When you say you will prioritize your mental health, your career, or your relationships, you are setting a standard for how you expect to be treated. When you fail to uphold those promises, you send a message that those things don't matter enough. But when you consistently respect your own commitments, you raise the bar for what you accept from yourself and from others. The power of keeping promises to yourself also lies in resilience. Life will challenge you with distractions, temptations, and setbacks. Your resolve will be tested daily. But every promise you keep, no matter how small, is a victory. Those victories add up, reinforcing a mindset that you can trust yourself under pressure. Resilience grows from these moments of integrity, making you stronger and more confident in facing whatever comes your way. Breaking promises to yourself creates a dangerous cycle of disappointment. The more you fail to follow through, the more your mind trains itself to expect failure. That expectation becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, locking you in a pattern of defeat. But when you break that cycle by keeping your promises, even when it's inconvenient, you disrupt the pattern. You show yourself that you are worthy of your own commitment. That realization alone is transformative. It's important to remember that keeping promises to yourself doesn't mean you have to be perfect. Life will throw curveballs, and sometimes circumstances will force you to adapt. But the key is not to abandon your promises without intention or reflection. If you must adjust your commitments, do so consciously and with respect to your goals. Don't let excuses become a habit, but allow flexibility when genuinely necessary. The integrity lies in your awareness and honesty with yourself. At its core, keeping your promises to yourself is an act of empowerment. It's you taking ownership of your life and your choices. It's you saying that your word matters. Not just to others but most importantly to you. When you hold yourself accountable, you build a foundation of trust that radiates outward. Confidence, respect, and authenticity all grow from this simple yet powerful practice. Looking someone in the eye is one of the most powerful, yet often overlooked, forms of communication. It is a direct line of connection that transcends words. When you meet someone's gaze, you are not just acknowledging their presence. You are signaling your confidence, your respect, and your authenticity. Eye contact is the silent language of trust, and mastering it can change the way people perceive you instantly. It says, "I see you, I respect you, and I am fully present." Many people avoid eye contact because it feels vulnerable. To hold someone's gaze requires courage, especially when the conversation is difficult or emotions run high. But vulnerability is not weakness. It is strength in disguise. When you look someone in the eye, you show that you are unafraid to be seen for who you really are. This honesty invites others to meet you on the same level, it fostering genuine connection. It creates a foundation where meaningful dialogue can take place, built on mutual recognition and trust. Eye contact demands your full attention. It forces you to be in the moment, to listen deeply without distraction. When you maintain steady eye contact, you communicate that you value the person speaking. You're not just waiting for your turn to talk, you're engaged. This kind of presence is magnetic. People feel heard and understood, which naturally draws them toward you. In a world full of distractions, this focused connection is rare and deeply impactful. The eyes are often called the windows to the soul, and there is truth in that. Through eye contact, emotions are revealed that words sometimes fail to express. A glance can convey empathy, compassion, or confidence without uttering a single sentence. Conversely, avoiding eye contact can signal discomfort, dishonesty, or disinterest. Becoming comfortable with eye contact sharpens your emotional intelligence. You learn to read unspoken feelings and respond with authenticity and care. Maintaining eye contact also strengthens your self-confidence. When you shy away, you unconsciously tell yourself that you're not worth the full attention of others. But when you hold your gaze, you affirm your value. It's a reminder that you belong in the room, that your ideas and presence matter. This simple act can change the internal narrative from one of doubt to one of empowerment. The more you practice, the more natural it becomes, until confidence flows effortlessly through your eyes. There is a delicate balance to striking eye contact without staring. Too little, and you appear evasive or uninterested. Too much, and you risk intimidating or making others uncomfortable. The key is to hold gaze long enough to establish connection, then gently look away before returning. This rhythm creates a natural flow that puts others at ease while maintaining your presence. Like all powerful skills, it takes practice and awareness to master, but the payoff is immense. Eye contact is especially important in leadership. Leaders who avoid eye contact lose credibility and influence. Leaders who meet eyes convey authority and empathy simultaneously. They inspire trust because they are transparent and engaged. When you look someone in the eye during a difficult conversation, you show that you are not hiding behind words or excuses. You demonstrate that you are accountable and ready to face challenges head-on. This is the essence of true leadership: being present and unafraid. In social situations, eye contact breaks down barriers. It invites connection and signals openness. When you meet someone new, the first moments are often filled with uncertainty. A confident, steady gaze tells others that you are approachable and sincere. It helps build rapport quickly, turning strangers into acquaintances and acquaintances into allies. Eye contact is a bridge, silent but powerful, that draws people closer and creates opportunities for genuine relationships. Finally, looking people in the eye is a reflection of self-respect. It shows that you honor yourself enough to stand tall and be seen. When you respect yourself, others follow your lead. Your presence becomes undeniable. You don't need to shout or exaggerate to make an impact. Your eyes do the talking. The simple act of meeting a gaze can transform an interaction, boost your confidence, and leave a lasting impression that words alone cannot achieve. Discomfort is often seen as something to avoid, a signal that warns us to retreat or resist. But the truth is, discomfort is the birthplace of growth. Every time you push through unease, uncertainty, or fear, you stretch the limits of who you are and what you're capable of. Embracing discomfort isn't about seeking pain or struggle. It's about recognizing that meaningful change rarely happens inside the comfort zone. If you want to become stronger, wiser, and more confident, you have to be willing to face discomfort head-on. The human brain is wired to protect you from discomfort, because it associates it with danger. That's why your instincts scream at you to back away when things get tough. But what if discomfort is actually a sign you're moving in the right direction? What if it's a signal that you're challenging old beliefs, breaking habits, and creating new pathways? When you reframe discomfort as a necessary part of progress, it stops being an enemy and becomes an ally. You learn to seek it out because you know it's a marker of your evolution. Discomfort shows up in many forms: fear of failure, awkward social situations, criticism, physical strain, or even mental exhaustion. Each of these moments is a test. They ask you whether you'll settle for what's easy or push for what's better. The difference between those who succeed and those who stagnate often comes down to how they respond to these moments. Instead of turning away, they step closer. They lean into the challenge and learn from it. This willingness to endure temporary discomfort creates lasting strength. When you embrace discomfort, you build resilience. Resilience isn't just about bouncing back. It's about becoming unbreakable. Every time you face discomfort and keep going, you condition yourself to handle bigger challenges. You reduce your sensitivity to pain, rejection, or uncertainty. This mental toughness allows you to stay calm under pressure and make decisions with clarity rather than fear. Resilience is a muscle, and discomfort is the gym where it grows. Discomfort also forces you to confront your inner critic. that voice inside your head that tells you you're not good enough or you don't belong, gets louder when things get uncomfortable. But when you choose to face that voice instead of fleeing, you weaken its power. You start to realize that discomfort doesn't mean you're failing. It means you're stretching. You begin to trust yourself more because you've proven you can survive and thrive outside your comfort zone. Many people confuse comfort with safety, but true safety comes from confidence and competence. Comfort is temporary. It's a bubble that can burst at any moment. Embracing discomfort builds the skills and mindset you need to handle whatever life throws your way. It teaches you that you are not defined by your comfort level but by your courage to act despite it. When you stop avoiding discomfort, you unlock a deeper sense of freedom and possibility. Growth requires risk, and risk requires stepping into the unknown. Discomfort is the natural companion of the unknown. When you take risks, whether it's starting a new career, speaking in public, or having a difficult conversation, you expose yourself to uncertainty and vulnerability. But those moments are where transformation happens. The more you embrace them, the more you realize that discomfort isn't something to fear, but something to welcome as a sign that you're alive and evolving. The process of embracing discomfort isn't linear. Some days will be harder than others. Some challenges will push you to your limits. But each experience adds to your story of strength and perseverance. Over time, you begin to crave discomfort because it signals progress. You understand that staying comfortable often means staying stuck. Choosing discomfort becomes a daily practice of courage, a conscious decision to grow beyond your current self. Embracing discomfort also deepens your empathy. When you faced your own struggles, you become more compassionate toward others. You understand the fears and doubts that hold people back, because you've been there yourself. This empathy strengthens your relationships and leadership. It allows you to connect on a real level, inspiring others to embrace their own discomfort and grow alongside you. Finally, discomfort is the doorway to your fullest potential. It's uncomfortable because it challenges every limit you've accepted about yourself. But, on the other side of that discomfort lies confidence, clarity, and a version of you that is more resilient and empowered than ever before. The choice is yours: live confined by comfort, or step bravely into discomfort and unlock the life you were meant to lead. Your energy is one of your most valuable assets. More precious than time, more influential than resources. It's the force that fuels your thoughts, emotions, and actions. Protecting your energy means guarding the quality of what you bring to every moment of your life. When you allow negativity, distractions, or toxic influences to drain your energy, you diminish your ability to perform, create, and connect. Learning to protect your energy is not selfish, it's essential self-care and the foundation for lasting success and happiness. The first step in protecting your energy is awareness. You have to become conscious of what or who depletes you. It could be certain people who thrive on drama, environments filled with stress, or habits that pull you away from focus and peace. Sometimes, it's your own negative self-talk or unnecessary worry that wears you down. Recognizing these energy vampires is critical because you cannot protect what you don't see. Awareness creates boundaries, mental, emotional, and physical, that safeguard your well-being. Boundaries are not walls to isolate you, they are gates that you control. Setting limits on how much time and attention you give to others preserves your energy for what truly matters. Saying no isn't a weakness, it's an act of strength. It's an acknowledgement that your energy has a finite capacity, and that not every demand deserves a piece of it. By choosing where to invest your energy, you increase your impact and reduce burnout. Boundaries help you operate from a place of abundance, not depletion. Protecting your energy also means managing your internal dialogue. The way you speak to yourself sets the tone for your entire day. Negative thoughts, doubts, and harsh judgments act like a slow leak, draining your vitality bit by bit. Replacing self-criticism with self-compassion recharges your spirit and builds resilience. When you protect your energy internally, you become less vulnerable to external negativity. Your mind becomes a fortress that sustains you rather than breaks you down. Your environment plays a huge role in your energy levels. Cluttered spaces, constant noise, and chaotic schedules create unnecessary friction. Simplifying your surroundings and routines creates mental clarity and peace. When your environment supports your well-being, your energy flows more freely. Protecting your energy means curating spaces that nourish you, whether that's a quiet corner to reflect, nature to recharge, or a tidy workspace to focus. Small changes in your environment can have a huge impact on your energy reserves. Who you spend time with profoundly affects your energy. Surrounding yourself with people who are supportive, positive, and aligned with your values replenishes your spirit. Conversely, toxic relationships drain your energy, leaving you exhausted and demotivated. Protecting your energy means choosing your company wisely and not feeling obligated to engage with negativity. You don't have to carry everyone's burdens. Being selective about your social circle is a powerful form of self-respect. Technology and information overload are modern energy drainers. Constant notifications, social media comparisons, and endless news cycles bombard your mind and emotions. Protecting your energy requires intentional breaks from screens and digital noise. Creating technology boundaries, like scheduled screen-free times or limiting social media use, helps reclaim your mental space. When you control your consumption, you prevent energy from being siphoned away by distractions and unnecessary drama. Physical health is another pillar of energy protection. Your body is the vessel that carries your energy, and neglecting it compromises your ability to function at your best. Proper sleep, nutrition, hydration, and movement replenish your energy stores. When you care for your body, you honor the connection between physical vitality and mental clarity. Protecting your energy means listening to your body's signals and prioritizing health as a non-negotiable foundation. Emotional energy is just as important as physical energy. Holding on to grudges, resentment, or unresolved conflicts weights you down. Forgiveness and emotional release free up energy that has been trapped in negative cycles. Protecting your energy involves conscious choices to let go of what no longer serves you emotionally. It's not always easy, but emotional freedom creates space for joy, creativity, and peace. When you lighten your emotional load, you feel more vibrant and alive. Ultimately, protecting your energy is about reclaiming control over your life. It means choosing what feeds you versus what drains you. It means honoring your limits without guilt and prioritizing your well-being with confidence. When you protect your energy, you show up as your best self in every area of your life. Focused, resilient, and empowered, your energy becomes a source of power rather than a resource to be exhausted. Bravery is often imagined as grand gestures, heroic acts, life-changing decisions, and monumental risks. But the truth is, bravery is built in the small moments, the everyday choices that quietly shape who you are. Micro-bravery is the courage to step outside your comfort zone in tiny ways, day after day. It's saying no when you want to say yes, speaking up when it's easier to stay silent, or simply trying something new despite your fears. These small acts accumulate, creating a powerful momentum that transforms your confidence and resilience. Micro-bravery starts with awareness, recognizing the moments when fear or hesitation creep in. It's about noticing those split-second opportunities to choose courage over comfort. Maybe it's making eye contact with a stranger, giving honest feedback at work, or admitting you don't have all the answers. These moments may seem insignificant, but each one is a chance to practice strength. When you consistently lean into these small challenges, you train your mind to embrace discomfort and uncertainty rather than avoid them. One of the most profound aspects of micro-bravery is that it makes courage accessible. Not everyone is ready or able to take massive risks, but everyone can take small steps. These micro-actions build your bravery muscle without overwhelming you. Over time, what once felt intimidating becomes familiar and manageable. Your comfort zone slowly expands, and you begin to see that courage is not a rare trait reserved for heroes. It's a habit you can cultivate. Micro-bravery also rewires your brain's relationship with fear. Instead of reacting to fear with avoidance, you learn to respond with curiosity and action. Each small brave act sends a signal to your nervous system that you can handle uncertainty. This rewiring reduces anxiety and builds confidence. The more you practice micro-bravery, the more your brain expects success rather than failure, creating a positive feedback loop that fuels further courage. These small acts of bravery ripple outward, influencing every area of your life. When you speak up in a meeting, you create space for your ideas and increase your influence. When you try a new hobby or skill, you open doors to growth and joy. When you set a boundary, you reinforce your self-respect and teach others how to treat you. Micro-bravery creates a domino effect. Each act strengthens your sense of agency and control over your life. Micro-bravery is also about embracing imperfection. You don't have to be fearless or flawless to be brave. Sometimes bravery means showing up even when you're unsure or making mistakes. It's the willingness to be vulnerable and authentic in the face of judgment or failure. By practicing micro-bravery, you learn that courage isn't about the absence of fear, but about taking action despite it. This shift in mindset frees you from the paralysis of perfectionism and self-doubt. It's important to celebrate micro-bravery because recognition fuels motivation. Acknowledge the small wins, the times you raised your hand, asked a question, or faced a difficult truth. Each celebration strengthens your identity as a brave person. When you track your micro-bravery, you build momentum and create a narrative of growth that inspires you to keep going. Even when challenges arise, micro-bravery also teaches patience. Change rarely happens overnight. The small daily acts might not produce immediate, dramatic results, but their cumulative effect is profound. The journey toward greater confidence and resilience is made up of countless tiny choices. When you embrace micro-bravery, you commit to the long game, understanding that persistence is more powerful than occasional bursts of boldness. In relationships, micro-bravery fosters deeper connection. It takes courage to be honest about your feelings, to apologize when you're wrong, or to ask for support when you need it. These small brave moments build trust and intimacy over time. By consistently choosing vulnerability, you create stronger bonds that withstand conflict and grow richer with authenticity. Ultimately, micro-bravery is about reclaiming your power one moment at a time. It's a daily practice of showing up as your fullest self, even when it's uncomfortable. These tiny acts of courage build a foundation that can support the biggest dreams and toughest challenges. Through micro-bravery, you transform fear into fuel and hesitation into action, shaping a life defined not by what scares you, but by what you choose to face anyway. Being unapologetically authentic means embracing your true self fully and refusing to shrink or hide in order to fit someone else's mold. It's a bold declaration that you will not compromise your values, beliefs, or personality to gain approval or avoid judgment. Authenticity requires courage because it often goes against the grain of societal expectations and pressures to conform. Yet, living authentically is the foundation of genuine confidence and fulfillment. It's where your power truly resides. Authenticity begins with self-awareness. To be unapologetically authentic, you must first know who you are, your strengths, flaws, passions, and fears. This kind of deep self-knowledge doesn't happen overnight. It requires reflection, honesty, and sometimes painful truths. But once you uncover your true identity, you free yourself from the exhausting cycle of trying to be someone you're not. Self-awareness creates clarity, allowing you to make choices aligned with your values rather than external expectations. When you choose to be authentic, you invite others to see the real you, which can be intimidating. Fear of rejection or criticism often holds people back from showing their true colors. But hiding behind a mask of perfection or people-pleasing only breeds loneliness and frustration. Authenticity is about embracing your imperfections and vulnerabilities, because they are what make you human. Showing up as your real self is a powerful act of courage that encourages deeper, more meaningful connections. Being unapologetically authentic means standing firm in your beliefs, even when they're unpopular. It's easy to agree with the crowd or stay silent to avoid conflict. But true integrity demands that you speak your truth with respect and conviction. Your voice matters because it represents your unique perspective and experience. When you honor your truth, you inspire others to do the same. Authenticity creates ripples. It empowers those around you to break free from their own masks. Authenticity also demands consistency. It's not about being different for attention or shock value. It's about being true to yourself in all situations, whether you're alone or in public. This consistency builds trust, both with yourself and with others. When people see that your words and actions align, they know they can rely on your honesty and integrity. Trust is the currency of strong relationships, and authenticity is its foundation. Being unapologetically authentic often means making difficult choices. You might have to say no to relationships, jobs, or opportunities that don't resonate with who you are. This can feel isolating at times, but it's necessary to create space for what truly aligns with your soul. Authenticity requires discernment and bravery to walk away from what drains you in order to pursue what energizes and fulfills you. In this way, authenticity is a radical act of self-love. Another aspect of authenticity is embracing your unique voice and style. You don't need to imitate others or follow trends to be accepted. Your individuality is your superpower. When you express yourself fully, whether through your words, appearance, or creativity, you celebrate the diversity of human experience. This kind of bold self-expression breaks down barriers and invites others to be themselves without fear or apology. Authenticity also cultivates resilience. When you are anchored in your true self, you are less shaken by criticism, rejection, or failure. Because your sense of worth is internal, not dependent on external validation, you can navigate life's challenges with greater stability. Authenticity strengthens your inner foundation, making you unbreakable in the face of adversity. You learn to trust yourself above all else, knowing that you are enough exactly as you are. In a world that often rewards conformity and superficiality, being unapologetically authentic is a revolutionary choice. It's a declaration that you will not dim your light to make others comfortable. It's an invitation to live boldly, honestly, and unapologetically. Authenticity is the pathway to freedom. The freedom to live a life that is fully and uniquely yours, without compromise or regret.